Hi, welcome to Mystic Moons. How are you? How is everyone doing? It's spring, early spring. I'm up in the mountains as usual. And for once, it is only around midnight. It's still the AM, but not like my usual 2 and 3 AM, 4 AM, 5 AM. But it could be one of those nights. It could be one of those early morning nights. Thank you very much, Cher, for the like. I appreciate it. And hi, Chosen. How are you doing? Well, what do you think is happening in this world? Isn't it weird? Everywhere you look, some kind of weirdness is happening. I mean, it could be just a look, a glance, a couple of sentences from anybody. Somebody on the train, somebody in the supermarket aisle. It just feels we're teetering like on a tightrope of things. So today we have to ask this earth spirit. I mean, call it Gaia, call it cosmic energy, call it universal energy, call it the aura, the composite aura of all the living, organic, vibrating essences. So let's cast away. There seems to be a lot of, like, as I said, murky stuff, murky vibrations. War seems to be all being offered as though it was a treat, like ice cream, a donut, a muffin, like it's a cakewalk. The misery that comes with war, like we're going to be real men, we're going to be real women, and we're going to go out and murder and destroy and break. For what? For what? Yes. What are we doing this for? Tell me, Chelsea, what are we doing this war cry for? So we're going to have a reading because it doesn't seem human. Something does not, it seems like people are possessed by some sort of demonic vibration. And you find them everywhere in your politicians, in your friends, or semi friends, in your acquaintances. I mean, people look at each other strange. I don't trust you. You could be, but maybe, and of course, most likely you're not. Not mean not trustworthy, but you're not what they think that person looking at you thinks you are. It just feels that people are suspicious today, very suspicious. They're afraid to open up. Lovers, partners, friends. You never know when somebody's just going to go off. Ooh, off, off. I mean, did you hear? Everybody from now on today, right this moment, has heard the President of the United States use profanity as though he was sprinkling holy water, flinging incense smellies around. I mean, why would a leader of one of the most powerful countries in on this earth, at least on the surface earth? Now let's understand we were talking about the surface earth. Why would he just say what he said? I give them hell and blankety blank. There's no need to repeat it. Go look it up. Why would he feel the need to do that? To act this way? It's certainly not affecting his appetite because he doesn't seem to have lost any weight. It's like when you get that possessed, that angry, the need to eat, the this and the that becomes out the window. So what is he doing? You hear all these strange reports of things like sitting around watching war porn, things blowing up, people getting, effed off. I mean, snuffed out. Because when these things blow up, people are being killed, lives are being ruined. Why? Why? And I'm speaking as an American. Why is this going on? Why is this SHT happening? Why? Can you tell me? Give me an answer. Goldball, give me an answer. Chosen, give me an answer. Why is this happening? Tell me, people out there, why? Why? The evil? Who is doing to me? Okay, so when you see something, say something. We've all heard this for like decades. See something, say something. Now, our eyes are telling us that this is not okay. It is not something you would do, right? Now, the evil is killing someone, killing children, killing women, killing old people, killing each other is evil. All sorts of holy books, their laws, their bylaws, their norms say do not kill, thou shalt not kill. So why should there be some sort of holy war? Holy, what is holy about murder? Okay, we are right. W-A-R, war in English. War. Now, what? When I go to the store and I see the high prices, I see this, I look at the gasoline for cars, that. I mean, that makes me feel extremely uneasy because I have to contemplate, I have to count, as you do too, just how much things are going to be this week. And you never know if somebody has itchy fingers to press some sort of mass destruction instrument, right? And you see, the whole thing, you have to take the aliens into it. You have to. Thank you for the likes. I appreciate it. You have to take the alien aspect because all of a sudden, April Fool's Day, which in America is when the day for Americans, you play tricks. It's a trickster day. It's even more of a trickster day than Halloween. April Fool's. April 1st is always April Fool's Day. What did we do? The United States went to the moon, or something like that. Now, this is the most peculiar moon trip. The most peculiar. It has a lot of inconsistencies. It's like they're playing with our heads. They're playing. We're getting played. We're getting played all the way around. But to talk about the moon. Now, we've been told to get off the moon 53 years ago. Don't come back. We have. Anyone who just sits down calmly and thinks about 54 years it's been since the so-called moon landing. And you could say, oh, you're like off the wall to even talk about the validity of if we did or if we didn't. However, what is in Antarctica, right? The 5th largest continent that we cannot go to. We cannot tread on. We can't sit on it once you get there, if you're privileged enough to get there, nor can you get on your knees. Now, what do those two body positions infer? Right? Servitude and relaxation, right? And those are forbidden. Very peculiar. Very, very peculiar. And the fact that we would go to the moon, leave our planet, without thoroughly investigating the 5th largest planet, which is under treaty with about 40 nations, military treaty. They're like, no matter how much we fight for everything else, Straits of Hormuz, Greenland, Central America, South America, Africa, Asia, we don't fight for the 5th largest continent, Antarctica. Hands off. Because something there. And we know there's something there. We've been no matter what country you're from, we've been had with a lot of garf, a lot of garble, a lot of, well, how does this sound? A lot of fairy tales. I mean, a lot of trickster stuff. So we're going to have a reading right now because it seems as though getting back to the moon landing, did you see the latest shot from the astronauts in the moon ship, Artemis 2? Now, all of us have been outside at night. And we know the moon has cycles, the waning and the waxing, right? Big, small, big, small, big, small. Now, we've all seen a huge moon when we open the door or look out the window, depending on the full moon time of the month. However, some miracle, some strangeness, that they had a photograph of the Artemis 2, one of the four astronauts. I don't know which one, but he was looking out the window at the moon and saying, "Hey, we're halfway there." And you know what that moon was? Teeny weeny, teeny weeny, teeny weeny. Now we could see a huge moon this size, big from our window. But when we're halfway to the moon, somehow it gets teeny weeny, teeny weeny. That sounds stupid. They, and I'm going to use they and them, think that we, you and I, are. Because how can the thing be one way when we're looking out a window, and when we're halfway to the moon, it should be massive. It should be engulfing, but yet it's going teeny weeny. Now, who's running this chicken show? This chicken show. Hello, how are you? It's just, yes, of course. It's telling us that we are ignorant, and we're saying, "Oh, you shouldn't look at things that are said," right? But anyway, let's go back again. So I'm saying the fact of the matter is that we've been giving a directive. A directive by whom? Because what is the Iran conflict doing for the American people? First of all, it's making everything more expensive, if it wasn't already with the tariffs. We are losing our ability to feed, house, and even think rationally, especially when we have a leader who's going around using such language, not really advocating mental progress, knowledge-based. We're being told that AI is going to do all our jobs. We're not going to have any jobs. In fact, the last few months, 50-something thousand workers were laid off. Now, this is the climate we have in this country. So you could say, well, we have to confiscate other goods to stay function, to have money, to have assets. Once again, is that righteous thinking? Is that the way for an alien race, other planetary beings, non-humans, let's just say non-humans, aliens, to value us as a species? Or have we been giving a directive or something? It just doesn't smell right. It does not smell right. It doesn't smell right. So we're going to sit back, and we're not even going to get into a spaceship trip. No, because space is off limits to us. We're going to sit back with our feet on the earth, and we're going to soak up the spirit of this planet, this beautiful blue planet. Even though the moon landing showed us that the first shot they showed us was Australia being huge, like half of the globe was Australia, which you can tell once again we're being told we're not very smart because Australia, we know, is not half the size of the planet Earth. But you go look it up, and you can see, just look it up. But back to our grounding. Feel the earth. Feel the beauty of being human. The beauty of being human, not the powerlessness, because we're not powerless. Only if we listen to in the box, stay in your lane rhetoric are we feeling, or are we made to feel as though we are non-material, unimportant, we don't matter. So a lot of us end up with all those, demoralizing comments, feelings, directives, and we feel that way. We're in an asset-based society. How many assets you have is of your value in the 3D world. However, beyond all that, we know you're here for a purpose. We are here to broaden ourselves, to do something. That's why we're here at this time and place which is totally insane. Totally insane. So let's do this reading. Trump's He's a leader. He's the president of the United States. The president. On the highest ranking civilian. And he has said he's going to put hell for Iran. Now, if you could think and you could tell some sort of message that this is good for the American people to give another nation hell, why can't we give them heaven? Why can't we give them good things? Why do we have to hate? Why? Why is this human prerequisite for getting through your day? And this stuff trickles down to family and friends. This whole, I have to hate someone to levitate my own sense of shaky ego, how I feel about myself. If I can put you down on your knees, I can stand up on my toes. I can stand up on my toes. So here we go. Why is this boots on the ground, this Iranian war, Iranian hell? Is this a sacrifice, a ritual sacrifice to evil aliens who seem to be in contact or making demands? It's pretty complicated, isn't it? Let's take this one. All right. Now, that's a fair question. Is this a demonic sacrifice? Is this a ritual? Is this a ritual? Well, we know people are going to be killed as soon as they start going at it. I mean, if your country was invaded by someone who didn't live there, even if your home is invaded, are you going to just sit back and go, welcome aboard, take everything I have, and, if you want to run a few bullets in me, go right ahead. I'd love it. No, you're going to fight like hell not to have that happen. And why would you suppose some other country did not feel that way? Why? So now we all know that there are rituals. There are people that invoke the dark side, and they could call them demons. You can call them aliens. You could call them any name that you feel comfortable with. And we all know that there are, with millions and millions and millions of planets, there are millions and millions of life forms, right? And if you think you're the only one, well, okay, that's your thinking. But didn't Trump say he's going to tell us about all the aliens? Now we have, and the feeling about aliens for the American population is like, you'll lose your effing mind. I've heard, this is a quote, if you really knew that aliens exist. They're feeling a total breakdown for all society in the United States if they say it too quickly. But it seems as though extraterrestrials, certain groups, are tired of waiting, tired of not having their homage, their fright night. So let's just see. Then we're asking basically, is this a ritualistic sacrifice, putting boots on the ground in Iran, for the Straits of Hormuz to open, for the uranium deposits, for the change of, I don't know what it's for. Because when this conflict started, the Straits of Hormuz, which is in the Middle East, right off of Iran, that was open. There was no conflict about the Straits of Hormuz. No conflict whatsoever. Thank you for the likes. All right, I took a few. This is a complicated issue because we're dealing with two groups of humans. And we're asking, who does this, and maybe four groups of humans. It could be even subdivided even further. But the point is, who does this benefit? And how can it be how can starvation, destruction, death, inconvenience to the umpteenth degree, to the level of insanity, benefit us, the victors or the victims? The first thing we get is the Five of Wands. That's the atmosphere I want. A five. Fives are always uneasy states, a state of, this is the state of boots on the ground. Quite frankly, boots on the ground. Boots on the ground, five of wands. What? That could be, that's the state of being. And the next one we got, the world. And we have the, what do you call this? The oberus. The oberus eating each other. The serpent just consuming itself. And then we have the world fighting. World War III. Can't we think of something better to do than World War III? Why are we fighting? What are we fighting for? A new master, a new world order. I mean, I think that we can very easily, through education, through discussion, change things. Enlighten whom to be, needs to be enlightened. To see blood, red blood, vampires. Who are the vampires that need to suck and eat us? This is something, this is where it gets kinky and eerie. The world, and we have a fighting state. The next one we have two sides, two of cups, two sides. And we're having United States and Israel, and we're having Iran and Russia, China, the Houthis, the Yemens. And then we have all the other things. But basically, right now, we're talking about hell in Iran, right? Now, Russia's not going to be so quick to be jumping in with boots on the ground. However, like Ukraine, the United States has been pumping Ukraine for years with stuff, with weapons, as well as other countries in NATO have been as well. It's like pumping the money machine, the money. All right? We have the two of cups, two sides. We got that, right? We have that. We understand that. And then we have here, I've had this card before. We have the Nine of Pentacles presentation, the awaiting, the slaughter. Are we? When I pull cards, I'm reading the backs of the energy of the cards. Yes, you could say whatever you wish to say, but it's kind of uncanny when you get randomly, they're not marked or anything, none on the back, there's nothing. Randomly, you get, and what do you see from the Five of Wands? Warfare, right? It's not peace. It's not peace. And then we have the World card, and then we notice the ovaries sucking each other, eating each other up. The world war. And then we have the Two of Cups, two sides. Now, anyone can say whatever you wish to say, but it's perfectly obvious. And then the Nine of Pentacles. The Nine of Pentacles is always an awaiting for what? The riches, the show to start. Just like the Nine of Cups. But the cups are a bit more ethereal, a bit more, this is more tangible than Nine of Pentacles. The Nine of Pentacles. So let's see where we go from. We're waiting to have the two sides and see how it goes. And then again, we're talking about ritual sacrifice. Because we do know when you have a country of 100,000 people, such as Iran, give or take 1,000, a million, excuse me, not 100 million, 100,000, 100 million people. Understand that? 1/3 of the population of the United States. And you're dealing with a land as vast as Western Europe. You got that? Yeah. Think of that. Just think of those things. And then you're sending out, how many people would it take, invaders, to take them down first try? How many people? And if somebody was invading your place, your place, how would you act, and how would your family and your friends and your community act? Right? Right. It's never too young and never too old to do something to protect what is yours and what is of value to you. Next one we got. The Ace of Swords. The Ace of Swords. Communication, weapons, swords. Swords, Ace of Swords. Also, too, the offering, the offing. Who are you? Is this something to fill us? Now, we see American blood is going to be shed. Now, what is the American people seeking to gain? What? What is it going to? Is it going to make us have a higher standard of life? Are we going to get more, feel more, do more? This is a strange type of Ace of Swords, is it not? Strange. Could this also be a message to some alien, non-human presence? The fact that this is like, okay, is this enough blood for you? Now, we take the way that this war started with the killing of over 150 girls, a girls' school, the blood of those children. And even though when people went in, when it first hit, they went back again. As soon as people came to rescue some of the girls, to go in there and see, they had a second strike to go and kill those people. So this was very intentional. And what was it? It was this, why, to kill young girls? Okay, so they were on the base. Now, how many people have jobs that your children can also get daycare? You have to think of it that way, because it makes sense. But we're talking about these sacrifices and the whole thing, planetary aspects. We're dealing with space, the moon flight. And you could say, oh, you're just crashed to say that as a fellow human that you would ask questions, or even debate why such a thing were happening. So we're dealing with planetary alignment, which is dealing with the cosmos, the universe. We're dealing with a message. And we all know that there's some very, very strange things. Earth is not isolationist. We have Elon Musk, who wishes to go to the Mars to reclaim something, Earth's history. So to ask and to see that there's some other force here that demands us to act a certain way. Maybe United States, Trump, and the other officials aren't acting on their own volition. Maybe they're being purged or being forced to act a certain way because of some alien presence, because some alien pressure. Now, even we all know that there are physics that exist with UFOs and different other orbs and things that we see constantly. It's reported constantly. We see things that are strange and we go, oh no, they'll think we're crazy if we talk about it. No, we're not talking about that. We're talking about dealing with cosmic order, dealing with the universe, dealing with a different wide spectrum of life. Now, if you have to think out of the box to be able to understand the position that we all are in today. Hence, the Ace of Swords. And the Ace of Pentacles. The ultimate. So this is very, very, very strange. We have a state of being, the Five of Wands. And then we have a major arcana with the world. And then we have two sides with the Two of Cups. And then we have the awaiting to see if boots on the ground, hell on earth, hell for the United States, hell for all. hell for all. Hell for all humanity, that we have to evolve to this stage. And then we have this communication thing, the swords, air and fire, and air and earth. Air and earth. Almost asking us, well, how are we of this earth, humans of this earth, portraying ourselves or giving ourselves? We're giving a section of people as a gift, an offering, an offering, an offering, offering. And another thing too, which is very, very strange, very, very strange, very strange, is that the United States government has made a request that all imagery of this affair, coming affair, and in fact going as far back as a month from today, the March 9th, 2026, all visual images are to be kept private, private, private. So something is going on beyond the simple thing of censorship. Now, if you have friends, family, relatives, neighbors going off to fight, don't you want to know where they are? Don't you want to feel their pain? Don't you want to feel their joy? But we have quiet. We have a censorship. And the censorship is only for the United States because you can't control other countries. It's not global. It's just for the United States. The images cannot be had. So this is another thing you have to take. It ladens the weight of this peculiar, strange warfare, with no apparent gain for the United States. We've lost millions of dollars, trillions of dollars every week, trillions, billions of dollars. I mean, the figure, does it matter if it's billions or trillions? We've lost so much. And there are people that are living in the United States in cardboard boxes, in the street, on park benches, in garages, sleeping on the sidewalk. But yet we could spend billions on warfare. Who's to gain? What is there to gain? What is there to gain? So therefore, this is you have to think that the blood, the essence of us, of the earth, is the offering. And to whom? To whom? To the hearts of the survivors' friends and family and community? Or is it for an entity, a demon race of evil aliens? These two cards, very interesting, aren't they? This is hi. Thank you for the hearts. So these two, it seems as though that the feeling that I'm getting is that with these two aces, the boundaries and the limits are not yet established. Or it's a wait and see. It's like as though the king or some entity was waiting for and having all the riches put at their feet and to see if it was of value. But we know the riches involved in this destructive act, war is a destructive act, are not going to be valued of this earth. Now you can say the United States is after all the oil production and this and this and this and that, but it's more than that because we have enough oil. And the prices don't have to be as high as they are. And why are we bankrupting people all over the world? We're putting it back to the masters and the slaves, the serfs and the lords and kings and queens, rich and poor, and people in the middle who were just content to have their 1 hectare, 1 acre of land, their lean-to house, their modest house, and to come home and see a smile on their family's face. They're being dislocated into either poor slobs or rich slobs, one or the other. One or the other. And isn't it weird? We have censorship, which we do have, and we have an unclear, ever changing seesaw goal. Gold. Goal. Not gold. Achievement based. The award. What is the award of having a crumbling countries? What is the blood, tissues, organ donations, things like that? What happens in every war? It's disgusting. It's disgusting. But and then victory without a clear goal, without a clear need. That's a hollow victory. It stinks. It stinks. And how many people are going to all over the world are going to say, "Oh wow, the Americas are really great. America's great. United States is great. Fabulous, fabulous." Maybe we can count them. Even though they were even doing this too, we're setting an example of like might makes right. If you have something and I want it and I'm bigger and stronger, I'm gonna knock you down and get it. I'm gonna knock you down and get it. So this Ace of Swords ritual, blood ritual, it certainly isn't a happy thing. But all sorts of cavalier think thoughts can come to your head until the bombs rain on you, or the missiles fall on you, or somebody turns on you because you have something they want. Your smile, your bag, your sneakers, your boots, your coat, your sunglasses, whatever, your sandwich. Anyway, we can see about this. We could. Let's take a moment and think about this. Ace of Swords, Ace of Pentacles. Besides the up for grabs, what do you feel? What do you feel? What do you feel that this sacrifice, what do you feel that this is? Who benefits and who gains? You could say that regionally some party would benefit, but what do they really benefit? Becoming a pariah on the international and also on the consciousness, because it's something that you project and you put your energy towards. That doesn't stay in the direction that you point it at. It's like fungus. It's like mold, especially when it's dark energy. It spreads. It spreads. It spreads. Rot doesn't stay in one spot. War is rot. Especially when you are guilty of heinous acts, of which you are unclear about what your message is, your goal is, and who is doing what to whom. Think about this. Think about it. With these two cards, the only thing I can really see is the fact that with the ace, the two aces here, these things aren't really set in stone yet. It's still being decided. It's still being decided how far to go, how far to send the men in, the victims, how far, how much. How much is enough? When you're dealing with a population, you're trying to subvert 100 million people, sending in 7,000, 40,000, thousands, invaders, conquerors, troops. What is that going to really do? What is that going to do? Is that going to be enough blood to get a message to an unpopular war? Or to get fervor? They did it. Well, we've heard so many mixed messages, so many contradictions, and we've had, it's a bad thing to do. It's a bad thing to do. That's what the earth, this is what, if we want to appease an evil alien race that is somehow behind the scenes in the hidden, if we wish to appease them, we're sacrificing a lot. We're sacrificing too much. And that's something, because one party jumps off a cliff doesn't mean we all have to fall off the cliff. We have to think about this. So the exact number, the exact things are still being negotiated. Wait and see.